Hi guys. Get ready to turn down the lights and turn up the tension, because today we're diving into thrillers that play with your mind, twist your expectations, and leave you breathless. In this countdown, we're spotlighting the top 14 best thriller movies currently streaming on Prime Video, Peacock, and Tubi. These films aren't just pulse-pounding, they're smart, layered, and built to keep you guessing until the very last scene. Let's jump in and uncover the thrillers that truly deliver the suspense. Number 14. The Wall. The Wall, directed by Doug Liman, is a taut and minimalist war thriller that trades large-scale spectacle for intense psychological tension. The film follows two American soldiers trapped by a hidden sniper in the remote Iraqi desert. One is critically wounded, the other pinned behind a crumbling wall, with nothing but a failing radio and a rising sense of dread. What unfolds is less about bullets and explosions, and more about endurance, mental, emotional, and moral, as the lone surviving soldier is drawn into a chilling battle of wills with the unseen enemy. Aaron Taylor Johnson carries the film with a raw, nerve-frayed performance that captures the unraveling of a man caught in an impossible situation. John Cena provides solid backup in a smaller role, while the disembodied voice of the sniper becomes a haunting, manipulative presence, one that challenges not only the soldier's tactics, but his very sense of reality. It's a tense, cerebral ride that keeps you locked in from start to finish, and proves that sometimes the most dangerous battlefield is in the mind. Number 13. Wildlike. Wildlike, directed by Frank Hall Green, is a quiet yet powerful survival drama that weaves together themes of healing, escape, and unexpected human connection. Set against the breathtaking backdrop of the Alaskan wilderness, the film uses the stark beauty of nature to mirror its lead character's inner turmoil and transformation. The story follows a troubled teenage girl who finds herself in an unsafe environment and decides to run away, seeking safety and clarity in the vast, unfamiliar terrain. Along the way, she crosses paths with a solitary backpacker, and what begins as a wary encounter gradually unfolds into a subtle, deeply affecting bond built on trust, protection, and unspoken understanding. Ella Purnell gives a quietly moving performance that captures the confusion, strength, and vulnerability of a young person searching for peace. Opposite her, Bruce Greenwood brings grounded warmth and depth to a role that never veers into cliché. Their dynamic feels authentic and earned, building without melodrama, but with genuine emotional weight. Wildlike stands out for its restraint, its naturalistic tone, and the way it lets landscapes and silences speak as much as its dialogue. Number 12. Better Watch Out. Directed by Chris Peckover, Better Watch Out is a clever and suspenseful holiday thriller that turns the comforts of home into a chilling battleground. The film follows a young babysitter and the boy she's tasked with looking after on a quiet winter night. What starts as a routine evening soon takes an unexpected turn, drawing both characters into a night of escalating tension and psychological games. With sharp direction and strong performances, the movie keeps you guessing and delivers plenty of thrills without relying on jump scares or gore. It's a smart, stylish ride that will keep you on edge until the very end. Olivia DeJonge shines in the lead role, balancing strength and vulnerability in a performance that anchors the film's emotional core. Levi Miller, as the boy at the center of the story, delivers a surprisingly layered turn that grows more complex as the film progresses. The supporting cast, including Ed Oxenbould, adds just the right mix of charm and unease. Better Watch Out is lean, smart, and surprisingly gutsy, offering sharp direction, clever writing, and a chilling sense of mischief beneath its holiday lights. For fans of home invasion thrillers or genre films that aren't afraid to take bold risks, this one is a dark little gem that lingers long after the credits roll. Number 11. Surge. Directed by Anil Karia, Surge is a raw, kinetic psychological thriller that plunges viewers into the disorienting mind of a man unraveling. The story follows Joseph, a socially isolated and emotionally repressed man working at airport security in London. Over the course of 24 hours, something inside him snaps, setting off a series of impulsive, unpredictable actions that blur the line between liberation and breakdown. The film doesn't offer easy explanations. It's more of a visceral experience than a straightforward narrative, designed to make you feel what Joseph feels: anxiety, confusion, release. Ben Whishaw delivers a fearless, electrifying performance that anchors the film entirely. He brings a jittery, unpredictable physicality to the role, making Joseph's emotional descent feel urgent and unsettling. It's a tour de force turn that balances vulnerability and volatility, and it earned Whishaw a special jury award at Sundance. With its handheld camera work, pulsing sound design, and unflinching portrait of mental unraveling, Surge is a tough, immersive watch that leaves a lasting impression. Number 10. Double Blind. Double Blind, directed by Ian Hunt Duffy, is a tightly wound psychological thriller that blends sci-fi paranoia with claustrophobic intensity. The film centers around 7 young volunteers in a mysterious drug trial, where the simple act of sleeping becomes a deadly hazard. Millie Brady anchors the cast as Claire, the unlikely leader who must piece together the logic behind the trial and keep everyone from falling, literally, into danger. She's supported by strong performances from Pollyanna McIntosh as the cool, inscrutable doctor, while Akshay Kumar and Diarmuid Noyes add tension as volunteers whose rising panic turns inward. Under pressure, alliances form and fracture as the characters struggle to stay awake and stay alive. Visually, Double Blind leans into its single-location setting, transforming sterile corridors into a psychological pressure cooker. The synth-driven score underscores the growing dread without ever overpowering it. What gives the film its edge is the way it uses a simple premise: don't sleep or you're dead, to explore desperation, trust, and the unraveling of sanity. Number 9. The Sum of All Fears. Directed by Phil Alden Robinson, The Sum of All Fears is a tense and cerebral geopolitical thriller that fuses high-stakes politics with pulse-pounding suspense. The story follows rookie CIA analyst Jack Ryan, thrust into the spotlight after a catastrophic bombing in a U.S. city. As the nation teeters on the brink of war, Ryan must navigate a maze of conflicting intelligence, distrustful allies, and ticking clocks. His journey pits him against powerful political forces and hidden actors, with the fate of nations hanging in the balance. Ben Affleck brings quiet determination to Jack Ryan, balancing technical brilliance with moral clarity, while Morgan Freeman adds steady gravitas as CIA Director William Cabot. A strong supporting cast, including James Cromwell and Brendan Gleeson, deepens the web of tension, showing how geopolitical pressure can distort truth. With sharp pacing, sleek visuals, and a focus on logical deduction over shoot-'em-ups, The Sum of All Fears delivers a sophisticated form of thriller, the kind that chills through strategy rather than spectacle. Number 8. Ambulance. Directed by Michael Bay, Ambulance is a high-octane, pulse-pounding thriller that strips Bay's signature style down to its core: unrelenting tension and kinetic action. The story follows 2 desperate brothers who hijack an ambulance, thinking it's a quick, clean way to escape after a heist gone wrong. But once they're on the move with a critical patient on board, things spiral into a non-stop chase. What could have been a simple getaway becomes a brutal test of luck, strategy, and survival against a relentless police force. Jake Gyllenhaal delivers a charged, unpredictable performance as one of the brothers, balancing charisma with volatility in a role that's both compelling and morally conflicted. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II provides a grounded counterpoint as the paramedic caught in the middle, smart, resourceful, and quietly heroic under extreme pressure. With its blistering pace, tight shot design, and aggressive musical beats, Ambulance feels like one long, intense rush. It's less about depth and more about being caught in a furious, Unrelenting ride, perfect if you crave edge-of-your-seat thrills and a relentless narrative sprint. Number 7. Arbitrage. Directed by Nicholas Jarecki, Arbitrage is a tense and polished financial thriller that delves into power, deception, and the moral compromises of the ultra-wealthy. The story centers on Robert Miller, a brilliant but morally conflicted hedge fund magnate who appears to have it all: success, prestige, and a golden reputation. But when his risky business decisions threaten to collapse his empire, and a fatal accident forces him into concealment, Robert must scramble to maintain his facade. As suspicion mounts and personal cracks begin to show, the tension spirals into a high-wire game of cover-ups and negotiation. Richard Gere delivers a nuanced lead performance, mixing charm and authority with an undercurrent of desperation. He's supported by Susan Sarandon, whose controlled presence adds depth to their complex bond, and Tim Roth, who quietly commands authority as the detective, slowly piecing the truth together. The ensemble brings both class and substance to a story rooted in real-world ambition and ethical ambiguity. Sleek, smart, and sharply acted, Arbitrage doesn't rely on explosions or melodrama. It thrives on the pressure of financial collapse and the moral choices that come with power. Number 6. Stolen. Directed by Karen Tejpal, Stolen is a taut, real-world thriller that fuses social commentary with relentless suspense. Inspired by true events, Tejpal builds a story rooted in moral urgency and heightened by atmospheric realism, capturing how quickly ordinary life can spiral into chaos when fear takes hold. The film centers on two urban brothers, Gautam and Raman, whose chance presence at a rural railway station turns them into involuntary participants in a missing child crisis. As they attempt to help, suspicion and mob hysteria spiral out of control, testing their courage, integrity, and sense of trust in others. Abhishek Banerjee delivers a compelling lead performance as Gautam, evolving from a man who believes money solves everything into someone driven by conscience and loss. Shubham Vardhan complements him with quiet strength as Raman, offering moral balance and empathy. Mia Malzer is unforgettable as the grieving mother, her anguish grounding the film's emotional core in raw, human reality. Shot in real time with a lean, immersive style, sparse music, handheld camera work, and natural lighting, Stolen thrives on tension you can almost feel. It's a slow-burn thriller that avoids sensationalism, instead unraveling its truths through quiet confrontation, societal pressure, and moral reckoning. Number 5. Man on a Ledge. Directed by Asghar Leth, Man on a Ledge is a tense thriller that combines the raw emotional pull of a hostage drama with the clever twists of a heist movie. Leth keeps the camera focused on the rooftop standoff, using the city skyline as a backdrop to ramp up anxiety and ambition in equal measure. The story follows Nick Cassidy, Sam Worthington, who stands on the ledge of a high-rise building, threatening to jump. While negotiators and police swarm below, events inside the building begin unfolding. A team executes a daring plan that could clear Nick's name. The film carefully balances the suspense of the public spectacle with the hidden intricacies of what's really happening inside, which keeps the tension layered and unfolding. Sam Worthington anchors the film with a solid mix of desperation and quiet determination, making Nick feel real and sympathetic. Elizabeth Banks shines as the negotiator trying to save him emotionally and physically, while Ed Harris brings gravitas and insight as a seasoned cop caught in the middle. The chemistry among the cast adds emotional stakes to the unfolding drama. With brisk pacing, urban grit, and a smart narrative that plays cat and mouse with both the police and the audience, Man on a Ledge delivers an engaging, edge-of-your-seat experience without leaning on over-the-top action. It's a thriller that hooks you with its premise and holds you with its cerebral execution. Number 4. Bullhead. Directed by Michael R. Roscom, Bullhead is a brooding crime drama that merges raw physicality with deep emotional scars. Rooted in the gritty world of rural Belgium, the film exposes the murky operations of the so-called hormone mafia, while probing one man's struggle with identity, trauma, and violence. The story centers on Jackie van Marsenil, a meek but imposing cattle farmer whose life is shaped by relentless hormone use, infused into both his livestock and himself. When shady deals and darker forces encroach on his world, Jackie is forced to confront not only external threats, but also the haunting shadows of his past. It's a quiet escalation, with tension simmering under every glance and gesture. Matthias Schoenaerts is electrifying as Jackie, delivering a raw, physically commanding performance that conveys pain, fragility, and barely contained rage without relying on heavy dialogue. His transformation, both emotional and physical, anchors the film, earning critical acclaim and several awards. Richly atmospheric with sharp cinematography and a haunting score, Bullhead explores masculinity, obsession, and consequence in a way that feels intimate yet epic. Number 3. Pacific Heights. Pacific Heights, directed by John Schlesinger, is a tense and meticulously crafted psychological thriller that turns a seemingly perfect home into a psychological battleground. The story revolves around a young couple, yuppie newlyweds, who buy a Victorian house in San Francisco with plans to renovate and rent out part of it. But when they welcome Carter Hayes, Michael Keaton, as their tenant, he slowly morphs into a nightmare roommate. Charming at first, then increasingly sinister, exploiting legal loopholes and weaponizing his tendency to seize control of their lives and property. Michael Keaton delivers a chilling performance as Hayes, a master of surface-level charm with an undercurrent of menace. His slow descent from polite tenant to manipulative predator is unsettling, earned by his ability to linger in the frame with smirking, silent intimidation. Opposite him, Melanie Griffith and Matthew Modine ground the story with credible anxiety and mounting desperation as they fight to reclaim their home. The tension is psychological rather than explosive, playing out in long stares, quiet confrontations, and the creeping realization that the safe harbor of home may be the most insecure place of all. Number 2. 13 Lives. Directed by Ron Howard, 13 Lives is a gripping and emotionally resonant survival thriller based on the harrowing true story of a youth soccer team trapped in a flooded Thai cave. The story chronicles the desperate mission that unfolded when 12 boys and their coach were discovered deep inside the cave, cut off from the outside world by rising floodwaters. As the situation grows increasingly dire, a global team of rescue divers, engineers, and volunteers race against time and the monsoon season to guide them to safety. The narrative builds suspense not through flashy stunts, but through the weight of real stakes and collective will. Viggo Mortensen leads the ensemble as a calm and steely veteran diver, grounding the story with quiet authority and earnest compassion. Supporting performances from Colin Farrell, Joel Edgerton, and Thai actors bring authenticity and emotional texture, depicting people united across cultures and expertise in the face of overwhelming odds. It's a thoughtful, compelling thriller that reminds us how determination, ingenuity, and solidarity can light the way through darkness. Number 1. Gataka. Directed by Andrew Niccol, Gataka is a visually striking and thought-provoking sci-fi thriller set in a future where genetics determine destiny. The story centers on Vincent Freeman, a man born without genetic advantages in a society obsessed with perfection. Determined to pursue his dreams despite overwhelming odds, Vincent finds himself in a world where every step forward is a battle against the system. The film is anchored by powerful performances and explores themes of identity, ambition, and what it means to truly be human, all wrapped in a sleek, suspenseful package that lingers long after the credits roll. Ethan Hawke delivers a quietly compelling performance, capturing Vincent's relentless determination and vulnerability. Opposite him, Jude Law offers depth as Jerome, a man genetically designed for success yet emotionally broken, bringing out the film's core tension between design and desire. Uma Thurman adds emotional resonance as Irene, a fellow dreamer navigating her own genetic limitations. Rather than rely on explosions or special effects, Gataka thrives on tension, moral ambiguity, and the emotional stakes of one man's quest against societal determinism. It's a beautifully executed thriller with heart and intelligence, one that lingers long after its final liftoff.